What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. It's Jay Place. I'm here today with my good friend Whitz on YouTube, and we are gonna go over all of our favorite Pokemon from Gen 1. This is gonna be a longer form kind of video today. We're gonna go over and break down every type, the gimmick forms, and our favorites overall. We're gonna try to break down, give some love to some Pokemon that most people don't. Other than that, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Uh, Thanks again, guys. Let's get right into it.
All right, so normal types.
Let's open
What are you
this.
thinking?
I personally am a big Eevee fan, and I also have some respect for Ditto. He's just a little goofball.
His little goober. I think Eevee is a pretty unanimous decision for most people.
Hmm.
But I do want to give every Pokemon kind of a light of day kind of thing.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe talk about some of them that might be forgotten about or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, right off the bat though, I would say Firo, a big old
Firo.
X, big old X.
Firo, yeah. Oh, as in get him out of here? I thought you were.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yes,
nah,
yes,
get
yes.
get him
I,
out of
I
here.
I'm on the same page as you.
He
I,
he's a Pokemon. Well, not him, but more so Spearow is a Pokemon. Anytime I see it, I don't even fight it because I hate it so much. I just run away.
I'm with you. I despise that thing so much. But let's
So
let, let's put some spotlight on maybe like a unspoken hero. What about
okay,
Porygon? Hard to get back on the original games because you had to get the what was
was
it,
hard.
999 tokens or something like that.
Yeah, I was just about to say you had to go into the game corner or whatever, and I
Hmm.
forget what exactly you had to do. Yeah, I think he was more so just like the most expensive
Yeah,
thing. And I
and
know back then it took a while getting coins.
and didn't he have that one episode that like they had to ban
The
in the
seizure
United States
episode.
because because he got seizures.
Yep.
Yep. So
I was probably one of those kids,
probably.
but who knows?
So he's
Um,
not bad, but so
yeah, I think he's good to keep on the side for now. Um, Snorlax, obviously, he's a fan
can't go
favorite.
wrong. Can't go wrong
Yeah,
with
can't go
Snorlax.
wrong. A lot of health, a lot of
Hmm.
belly, a lot of everything that you can desire.
And
Um,
he's got that big form from Galar region there.
Gigantamax.
Yep, the
Yep.
Gigantamax form.
Yeah,
That one's
as if
pretty
he needed
silly.
one.
Yeah, just make him
Pokemon
bigger.
Company just trolled everybody with that.
They did.
Literally the same size because he can't get any bigger.
Hmm.
Um, what else we got? What else we got?
Tauros is
Rattata.
no, yeah, Rattata's out of here. Tauros though from the anime.
Yeah, Tauros made a lot of appearances in the anime. Honestly, personally, he was one of those Pokemon when I was a kid and I was, you know, first starting playing. I didn't
Hmm.
really use him much. I don't know why. I think when I was a kid, I wanted something that looked different,
Yeah,
and he looks more a more modest design to Pokemon.
definitely.
But
He's
I feel like nowadays, I can, you know,
you've grown respect for
relate to
him.
him. Yeah,
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 relating to the bull.
yeah, relating to the bull.
All right, so we've given some spotlight to some. Who do we think we unanimously choose on this one?
Um, I don't want to be like everyone else. Like I want to be somewhat unique, but at the same time, Snorlax is hard to pass up, and
Hmm.
Eevee. Eevee and Snorlax, I feel like are the two big ones right now.
Those to me, those are mine one and two, and then I would give my like underdog pick to Ditto. But I am happy with either of those two. I think
I honestly would give an underdog pick to Porygon as well, just the whole
to
bottom
Porygon.
row.
Yep, that's true. The whole bottom row is probably the best we've got.
Yes,
Um,
but I do have a clear winner in my mind.
all right, I do as well.
All right, what's yours? Because I have my cursor on mine.
Do you? Uh,
Yep,
we might not be on the same one. I think Eevee. Eevee's been he got his own game eventually. To me, I always liked him more than Pikachu as like the poster child. He's like literally
I
the
agree.
evolution Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean he's what Pokemon's all about in a sense.
Yeah,
So I think
yeah.
especially for a Gen One Pokemon, he kind of encompasses what Pokemon's all about. It gives
Hmm.
you options. A lot of the options have their own use cases and are all really good. So
Again,
yeah, I agree.
you agree? And
Yep,
besides, Snorlax, like, that's the basic pick. As much as this is one
he
too, but
is.
it's not as basic
No,
as
I
we're
think
about to get basic with this next category.
yeah, yeah, I agree. Um, you know, I think Charizard obviously he's I don't want to go ahead and say he is my number one, but just looking at this right off the bat, he's up there. Um,
Out of the
you know,
fire types,
what's up?
he's out of these fire types. If we're looking at him, to me, he stands at number one on that podium.
I
There's
I
some good ones, but he's definitely one.
I agree. I do want to give some spotlight to the Galarian version of Ponyta and Rapidash though, just because it looks awesome. I
Oh,
know,
those are
that
pretty.
doesn't count for what we're doing right here,
Mm,
but do want to
I,
give a spotlight to them.
I think they come into the list later on.
Yeah, they
So
probably will. So they'll probably earn one of my votes.
so
But
I'm with you. I actually gained a lot more respect for Ponyta from Legends Arceus when you get that shining one.
yes, yep,
Beautiful Pokemon in game,
I
dude.
agree.
He stayed on my team from the second I got him.
Hmm.
So, and other than that, I mean, everybody likes Arcanine. Arcanine's sick.
Well,
Um,
he was the original legendary, right?
yeah, no, I know. He was
That's what his
supposed to be.
Pokédex says.
Mhm. He's Growlithe is just like a good little boy. Charmander.
He is a
Everybody
good
loves
little boy.
Charmander.
Everyone loves Charmander. Um,
Charmeleon's the weird, goofy middle stage.
he is the goofy stage, but I do have to give him some light because I actually when I was a kid I pulled what was it? What was that Pokemon set? The Pokemon card set with the reverse hollow
Oh, okay.
legendary
Yep.
collection.
Mhm.
I pulled him and I have him in this little poster thing that I have hung up in my house.
Oh, yep.
Yep. So I got to give
He's
him.
got a soft spot. You got a
Yeah,
soft
I
spot for
definitely
him.
have a soft spot for him.
That makes sense.
Um,
That's kind of like I have a soft spot for Magmar. I don't know why. I always thought he was cool as a kid, but now that I've gotten older, I can't do it with the butt cheek eyebrows.
Yeah,
I
he does
can't.
have
I
some
just
booty
can't do it with
brows.
the the
Yeah, I ain't
booty
doing
brows.
that. Yeah, but when
Not
you're
the
a kid,
Magmar booty brows.
you're right. Yeah, we got some big old booty brows. So yeah, he's an X. Ponyta Rapidash, I think we can X off. Flareon was always my least favorite evolution.
I agree with you.
It just
Oh,
doesn't aesthetically look pleasing. I don't know.
out of the first three, he's my least favorite for sure.
Yes. Yeah,
For
absolutely.
sure.
Um, I'm kind of, I don't know about you, but I'm gonna try to not lean towards any legendaries in these lists.
I'm gonna
I
try
just
to
think,
unless I have a straight bias for them. But
right, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
with
for
you.
sure. But in a list like this, like where you have Arcanine and Charizard, I feel like they're good enough to where we don't just have to default to picking a legendary.
No, I mean, and besides, no offense, I think Moltres is kind of butt cheeks.
I do too,
All
100%.
right, thank goodness.
Yep. But I think
So
ultimately we can both decide what the unanimous winner is here.
yeah, Charizard.
Yep,
Sorry,
Charizard,
just
100%.
I do like Ninetales. I love the Alolan one, but that will come back around once we get there. So Charizard's
Yeah, and I'm a
just
Pokemon card freak, and there's a lot of really good Ninetales cards out there, so I definitely have a soft
mhm.
spot for Ninetales as well.
Oh yeah, it's it's a good Pokemon. You can't skip it.
Nope.
But on to water now, right?
Yep.
All right,
Wow.
Gen
Okay.
1
Quite a
waters.
selection.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, right off the bat, I have to say, so my first Pokemon game, I was a little late to the party, but I did go back and play the others. But my
Mhm.
first Pokemon game was Leaf Green,
Mhm.
and I had picked Squirtle, and Blastoise was my first Pokemon I got at level 100. So
Mhm.
I'm very, very biased towards him, but I'm still gonna, look through this selection and try and make a good decision.
I have two biases in this whole list. Number one, Squirtle for the Squirtle Squad from the anime,
Oh yeah, yep.
and number two, I don't know why, but that one episode was it Lapras that had the giant shadow form? Or was it Dragonite? I always forget. It was such a long time ago. Remember
Um,
the lighthouse episode?
I do remember that episode. I
I
think it was
think it was
Lapras.
Lapras, yeah. And I don't
Yeah,
know. Lapras, it's just got such a good design for like a Pokemon.
it does, and not to mention like his base stats are pretty good too,
Yeah,
and
he's water
a lot of
ice.
health. Yeah, a lot of health, a lot of special defense,
And it's like
decent special attack.
if I was in the Pokemon world and I could pick one Pokemon that I could like ride on its back across the water, it's gonna be Lapras.
Yeah, for sure. I
So,
agree. I think Lapras is up there, but
mm,
I depending on what we narrow this down to, I may save my Lapras vote potentially for Ice for Gen
I
1.
was just about to say I think I'm cool with saving our Lapras to give it some love later if you
Yeah,
want to
because
decide on a Squirtle line somewhere on Squirtle.
maybe that or hold on, I have to look through all these. Golduck and Psyduck never really cared for him.
No,
Kind of basic looking design.
Psyduck was funny in the anime
He
as a
was he
kid.
was funny.
He was
Yeah, he was
goofy.
funny.
He was goofy funny.
The whole Poly lineup, not a fan of them either. Think they're basic looking.
No, nothing
Um,
crazy. Tentacool and Tentacruel. I like what
I
they
dude, heck
what.
no,
No, I like what they did
no.
in Gen 9 there with the
Yeah,
bone
yeah, yeah,
score.
for sure.
Those are sick, but
I think that was a good decision on their part too, because like
mm-hmm,
my whole thing with Tentacool more so than Tentacruel was just whenever I was surfing on the water in these games, and like
mm-hmm,
that was the only thing I would
yep,
find,
mm-hmm.
and it got so annoying. So yeah, they're automatically xed out my list.
Yeah, I can agree with you. Obviously, the blatant one that I'm seeing on this list is Gyarados. Everybody loves Gyarados.
Everybody loves Gyarados.
And
Everyone loves the red Gyarados and uh,
mm-hmm,
Gold and Silver and the anime.
yep, yep.
Um, Dugong. I
I j-
tried. So I got into this phase where when I was playing my Pokemon games, I would try and choose like the most underrated Pokemon to have in my lineup.
mm-hmm.
And I had Dugong. I forget which game it was, but I had Dugong in my lineup, and I just couldn't do it. I
Yeah, I think
just not
just
good.
there's way better Seal Pokemon out there.
There are like Celio,
Yeah,
Walrein,
Walrein,
hundred
Spheal.
percent.
I love Spheal.
I did too. What you see anything popping
Maybe
out to you?
Vaporeon. I don't know. I think it goes to Squirtle or Blastoise, depending on which one you lean towards more. I'm happy with either of
Yeah,
them.
I would be happy with either. Personally, I know you go with Squirtle because of the Squirtle squad, and you know that's completely fine with me. But for me, I would pick Blastoise just because I was so happy to like finally get him to level 100, and
Well,
I had
uh,
somewhat of a weird attachment to him as a kid.
I'm happy with a Blastoise, honestly. So I'm gonna click on it, and I'm good
Cool,
with that.
sounds good to me.
All
All right,
right, my
grass.
one of my least favorite types, honestly. I don't know why.
Yeah, one of my least favorite types, just because I feel like most of the time grass Pokemon are more so like not walls, but
Hmm. Like
I'm
they're defensive. They're not really
yeah,
doing
they're more
much.
so defensive. The whole
Hmm.
leech seed stuff, like get out of
Yeah,
here. I want a Sceptile
Spore.
on my team.
Yeah, God,
But
Spore is very annoying. Like Stun
yep,
Spore and Sleep Powder and all that.
mm-hmm. This is
um,
kind of looking pretty unanimous to me.
I know. I see once again the three first Pokemon, and that's kind of where
Yes,
I'm leaning.
and I
Um,
hate that because we're gonna seem so basic picking Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur.
I know.
But
Do we want? Ivysaur is in Smash Brothers. I think Ivysaur
yep,
has one of the better middle stage evolutions. I do like Bulbasaur,
I
but
agree.
I mean, I'm willing to pitch down from Venusaur to Ivysaur if you want. But
I would,
I
yeah.
love all of them. It's up to
I
you,
would do that
honestly.
because I know in Smash Ivysaur, I love using him.
Yeah, with
Um,
Pokemon Trainer, it's so
yeah.
fun. All right, I mean, I'm
Um,
cool with it if you are.
yeah. Let's go for it.
All right,
Be a little
Ivysaur for
different.
grass. Yeah. All right,
All right. Electric.
electric type.
Um,
always one of my favorite types. One weakness can never go wrong with a good electric type on the team.
Exactly.
Um,
Um,
it's not a big selection.
Zapdos was always my favorite of the three legendary birds.
I 100% agree with you.
Um,
I do. I like.
Electabuzz
Mhm.
was my Magmar, basically.
I was gonna say I had the same feeling about Electabuzz.
Yeah, they
Actually,
were just
as I do.
those cool like. And back then, they didn't have the evolutions,
Hmm.
but you still felt like they didn't really need one because they could still hold their own.
Yeah, definitely. Did
So
did you kind of fall out of love with it like I did with Magmar, or do you?
uh, not really. I mean, I still like them a lot, and I
Hmm.
know obviously Electivire is stronger, but
Hmm.
visually, I just like Electabuzz more
That's true. I do like
than
his. I
Electivire.
like his pattern, like the black electric bolt all over him. I do like
Yeah.
that. I
Um.
I see two that I lean towards.
Yeah. Mine are Jolteon and Electabuzz.
Mine's Jolteon and Raichu. So
Oh, really?
I do
What
like
makes you
Raichu.
pick Raichu?
I don't know. I always was like just watching the anime. I kind of grew sick of Pikachu, and then like playing the games and learning that like, hey, Pikachu evolves into Raichu. You know, you got Surge, and I was just like, I don't know. I kind of like him. I don't love him, but to me, he
Yeah, and you
definitely.
don't see him. You don't see him a lot in the anime either.
Yeah,
Like,
that's.
we could have, but
Hmm.
Mr. Ash
Nope.
didn't want to.
Nope.
Yeah, we won't talk about that.
No, not at all. I
But
think if we both brought up Jolteon.
yes,
Jolteon's sick. He's
and
super
he's the
strong.
fastest of the evolutions, right?
Oh yeah, he's really fast. He hits pretty hard too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
If
he
I'm because
does.
they all have the same stats, just spread in different categories, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. I'm happy
Yeah.
with Jolteon, but if you want to argue for Electabuzz really quick, I'll hear you out.
I will go with Jolteon. That's
You will.
completely fine with me.
All right.
Yep.
Sounds good to me. Ooh,
All right.
this is very
Ice.
easy.
This is yes, definitely an easy one for me, and we both already talked about this.
Hmm.
So let's just go ahead and make the pick. Lapras,
Hmm.
your favorite ice type.
I will say really quick,
Mm-hmm.
I do kind of like Articuno, and then also
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever played the random battles on Pokemon Showdown, but I've gotten Cloyster a couple times
Mm-hmm.
with that new loaded dice item where he can do like the pin missile or he can do what is it, icicle spear or something like that. And you hit a shell
Five
smash on him.
times no fill.
Yeah, he's pretty good, but I definitely Lapras though. Just wanted to show a little love to
Yeah,
a
yeah.
nerf.
I definitely think Cloister has some good use cases though for like competitive battling.
Yeah, for like singles, he's not bad at all.
Yeah.
And then Jinx, please get that off my screen.
Yeah, I don't want to look at that anymore.
Mm-mm. All right.
All right.
Fighting.
Fighting. Let's see. Okay. Right off the bat, I'll have to say between Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan, I've always loved Hitmonlee way more.
Really?
Yes. That may be an unpopular opinion, but I don't know, just all the kick attacks. I know obviously Hitmonchan learns all the punch attacks, but for
Hmm.
some reason like in real life, like a kick is going to be more powerful than a punch.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think he just looks cool. He looks kind of mysterious because you don't really know what's underneath his
Hmm.
brown shell in a sense.
I I have heard Hitmonlee is based after Bruce Lee, and then Hitmonchan is based after Jackie Chan. I don't know if
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
is that. Yeah. Okay.
I think so. Um,
I I think Machamp's kind of cool. To me, he's
I do
like the
too.
poster fighting type when I
Yeah,
think of
I do
fighting.
too.
I like both the Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. Um, I've also
Well,
what?
I was gonna say, although I said that, to start this out, um, I do think Machamp is my favorite out of all these.
Do you?
I
Okay.
do. I think like if I were to go with Machamp or Hitmonlee, I'd 100% take Machamp. I mean,
Okay.
a Machamp with dynamic punch that actually lands, you're dead.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. I think I'm in agreement with you. I will say, ever since Gen 9, I have actually liked Primate a lot more because of
Yep,
Annihilate.
I moved my cursor there before you even said Annihilate.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
I
think Annihilate is the coolest new evolution of a Pokemon that already existed in Gen
I
9.
I I think it. I will argue for it later for what I say. I'll hold my opinions, but for
Okay.
now, let's just choose Machamp.
Yep, I agree.
Okay.
All right, Poison.
Poison. Let's see. Oh my gosh. One of the types that gets the least
Whew.
amount of love in every gen got the most amount of love in the first gen.
You ain't lying. Goodness gracious. Okay. Um, do you want to start off with your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, I see a clear winner in here for me, but
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling they're also the clear winner in a different category.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, yeah,
I
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, I do like Nidoking. Nidoking's a cool poison ground. I don't think we've gotten that type combo since.
And that's where my cursor was.
Yeah. Um, the one thing I hate about it is the shiny swap between Nidoqueen and Nidoking.
Mm-hmm.
Nidoking actually shiny looks fine. It's Nidoqueen's that turns some disgusting, I think, puke green color for some reason. But
Disgusting.
yeah, so I don't really see much else in here that I'm like, ooh. So I'm cool with just clicking Nidoking and moving on if you are.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I like Gengar more, you know,
Yes,
but
100%.
if we're thinking he could be a contender later down the line, which I very much think he will be,
I
I definitely think we
yeah.
should give Nidoking some love, and also because when I was a kid, the very first Pokemon pack that my parents got me, I can't remember what set it was from, but I just remember
Mm-hmm.
Nidoking was the cover, and I thought it was
Mm-hmm.
the coolest thing.
Yeah,
So
he's sick looking. He's like
yeah,
he's um like a kaiju monster. Like
yeah, he looks kind of Digimon esque as well in a sense,
yeah,
but yeah, I like him. I say we pick him and move on.
I'm down. Next we've got ground.
Ground is always a solid type. Always has some good picks every gen.
Yes, I
Um,
think ground for me is like a middle of the road. You got some weak hitters and then you also got some strong hitters. So I usually
and
pitch it
and
middle.
it's a good like there's a lot of good ground types that are more like wall based, and then a lot of good
Offensive
ground types
ones.
that
Yeah.
are offensive. Yeah,
I I see two here that I like.
I
One
do
is
too.
like a common one, and the other one is like just a personal bias from when I was a kid.
Would that be Golem?
No,
Oh, what would it be then?
actually, I really liked Sandslash as a kid.
Really?
Yes, don't know why. Just I thought he was cool. He was just this little, like he looked fierce to me as a kid with his slashers. Like he just looks like his front paws would just mess you up, and then he's got all the spikes on his back.
Yeah, he is very unique looking. He looks like something in real life, but just a little cooler.
Yeah, he just looks like a cartoon uh, porcupine that's like made out of rocks. Like I don't know how else to explain it. You know?
It could be your pet, but then kill your neighbor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do love the way that Graveler's looking at me right now. He's cracking me up with that goofy smile.
yeah. I just want to laugh just looking at him. Yeah, it looks like he just told a joke that he can't repeat in this video.
100%.
Yeah,
He definitely did.
little devious little rock.
I almost want to pick him just for how goofy he's looking right now. But
Me too. But nah, we gotta.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. The one that I'm thinking of that I think is the best. I can see picking it for a different type.
What's that?
Onyx. I think Onyx is like the embodiment of a rock type, but he's
He
probably my
is.
favorite out of this list here. If I had
Yeah, I
to.
think I always thought Onyx was really cool just because of how big he was.
Yes, exactly. Like to me, I felt like he was like a pseudo legendary, even though he's not. When I was a kid, I like
Oh
you know
yeah,
what I
for
mean.
sure.
You
Yeah,
knew this guy was strong, but he like
absolutely.
you could kill him with your level 8 Squirtle. easily.
Yeah, you could wipe a level 16 Onyx with your level 8 Squirtle with a good
Mm,
crit water gun.
yep. Goodbye. Goodbye,
Yep.
Brock.
I would say for me, I really like Rhydon because
Hmm.
I feel like Rhydon was the epitome of a Pokemon, kind of like how I said with Electabuzz, but I think
Hmm.
Rhydon was the epitome of a Pokemon that didn't need another evolution but got a really cool one.
I was gonna say, I know, I think it's controversial that people like Rhyperior, but I love Rhyperior. So
Dude,
I'm,
yeah, I think Rhyperior and Annihilate are the best like new evolutions for a already existing Pokemon.
I agree with you. I'd have to look at the rest, but I do agree with you.
But I know personally, I always loved using Rhydon and just trying to use Drill Horn and getting hit on things
Hmm.
just for an easy wipe. I just had a lot of fun doing that when I was a kid. So for me, I'd probably lean more towards him, funny enough, than even Onyx or Golem. Um,
Okay, I'm
but
fine with that.
so your two picks kind of were Sandslash and Onyx, right?
Yeah, but I do like Rhydon. Like to me, Rhydon is he's a good Pokemon. I think he was actually the first one ever designed too, wasn't he?
I think I did hear that somewhere.
Yeah, so I'm cool with picking it. To
I'm
me,
cool
he's
with
like,
him or Onyx, honestly.
well, I see the rock type and I think of Onyx, so I'm cool with doing that if you want.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So,
Yeah, I'm cool with that. We can go with right on.
all right, cool. So Rhydon for ground type.
Perfect.
All right. Flying
Ooh,
type.
there's some good stuff here, but also
Yes.
good stuff that could go in other categories.
Yes. And I just
So,
realized that there is a rock type that I like better than Onyx.
oh, what is that?
He's in this category right here.
Yep, my cursor's on him too
Yeah.
because when I saw this list, obviously a lot of cool Pokemon here, but Aerodactyl to me it was
He's
just
he
he's
was
just
he's
awesome.
cool. He's really
He is
cool.
cool. Yeah, I mean, he was obviously one of the first fossil Pokemon,
Hmm.
and he was the one that I had in my first file. So, for me, looking at all these Pokemon like Gyarados, Dragonite, obviously Dragonite is one of the best, in my opinion, best Dragon type Pokemon. Um,
He's up there for me.
yeah, definitely up there. But I mean, we both pointed Aerodactyl out right away. I think that means something.
Yeah, and it's like I think Gyarados could be in the argument, but I think to this
Yes.
day everybody still wishes Gyarados was a water dragon instead of a water
I
flying.
was just about to say that. No one thinks of Gyarados as a flying type, so I don't
No,
think he
I mean
deserves to be
he
picked for
literally
flying.
learns Dragon Dance, but he's a flying type.
Yes.
So
Yep.
by Gyarados, Aerodactyl is better.
Scyther would definitely probably be my bug type. I'm going to go ahead and say that.
I was gonna say, yeah,
So,
I clicked past it too fast, but Scyther's probably one of my favorite bug types,
yep.
especially from the earlier gens. The earlier gens were really weak on bug types, but
I agree.
he's up there. All
So,
right,
sounds like we are picking Aerodactyl.
yeah, I'm I'm already looking at the psychic
Okay.
expression.
Oh, this is a clear winner for me.
A clear
Even,
winner.
yes, just because. So Alakazam was always one of my favorite Pokemon
Hmm.
ever, and still is.
Hmm.
I just think there's something special about being able to have over 400. What can he get, like 493 special tag or something crazy like that? And just a stupid amount of speed as well. And I
Hmm.
think if he's landing the first hit and he's landing a good psychic on a
Hmm.
Pokemon, like most of the time it's going to be a one hit KO right away.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, in Gen 1, they didn't have the special split, so your
mm-mm,
special defense and special attack were the same stat. So, literally, and
right.
Psychic was a lot better of a type because I think it was like bugged out, so it didn't really have any weaknesses, I believe.
Yeah, it was pretty cracked out in Gen 1.
And so, like, literally, there's two Pokemon that, like, reign supreme in Gen 1, and it's Alakazam, and then the only thing that's better than it is the legendary Mewtwo. So, it's like,
Yeah, for sure. Um, I mean, obviously, like Mewtwo, you know, I think it's a better pick, but
mm,
I do want to also give some love to Mew.
I was
Mew's
gonna
just
say, I actually think I like Mew better than Mewtwo.
I do like Mew better than Mewtwo
So,
for sure.
and
Um,
then, but then it just comes down to, I don't think it's fair to give Mewtwo over Alakazam. So,
yeah,
I
I
think
agree.
I agree with you, right?
Yeah, but I do want to point out with Mew, like I remember as a
Mm,
kid always hearing about like I would hear from kids at school that you could get a Mew from
mm,
underneath a truck
yeah,
in the game, and I would
goofy.
try it and I would be doing all these crazy things to try and find a Mew. And like back then as a kid, like we had a computer at home and everything, but back
Mm,
then you couldn't readily find all this information you can now on like, you know, potential glitches and cheats and stuff. So like, as a kid back then, I would just keep trying to get that Mew from underneath that truck and couldn't ever do it.
never do it. No, not at all. No,
But
I Mew is like the epitome. We'll get into that when we get the legendaries. But so, are we cool with Alakazam?
well, I will. Although I did say Alakazam was one of my favorite Pokemon ever, I do think Mew is just so coveted amongst so many people, and he is a good psychic type, and he's in a lot of different movies, and I think Mew is very special, and
Mm.
I would be okay with either Mew or Alakazam, and I would leave that up to you.
So the only reason I don't want to pick Mew is because I think he's gonna win my favorite legendary.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll be interesting then.
Well, at least in Gen One. So,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. Yeah,
so
we can pick Alakazam for sure then.
Alakazam, are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would give it to Mewtwo if you wanted because I know he's not gonna win the. At least to me, I don't think he's the better legendary. You might be able to
Yeah,
argue a different one, but I'm cool with Alakazam. You can't go wrong with him.
cannot.
All right.
All right, bug type.
Worst type
Obviously,
in the game.
it's either Scyther or Pinsir, but I think Scyther would have to win it
I'm
overall.
just clicking Scyther.
Yeah, that's it.
I have a. The only thing I can say about looking at all these Pokemon after playing Legends Arceus, I hate Parasect and Paris more than ever. And other
But
than that, that's about it.
hey, Parasite gets some love for me for having one of the coolest cries in the game, though.
Yeah, that's fair. But I just
But other than that,
you've played
yeah,
Legends Arceus, right?
I did.
Those things would home in on you across the map, and I just hated it so much, dude.
Yeah, I can see that.
But Scyther's sick. He's got a cool split Evo. He got the evolution in Legends Arceus, which I do like a
Yep,
lot as well.
yep,
So
I agree.
I'm cool with him.
Perfect.
Perfect. All right.
Rock type.
Oh, so I see. Obviously, Aerodactyl. We already gave him some love.
We gave him love and flying. Can't
I
pick
see
him. Can't pick
Onyx.
Rhydon, and I see Onyx.
I do like Kabutops. I will say.
I do too. He's Man, he is a really cool fossil. He's probably one of the coolest looking fossil Pokemon in every
Yeah,
generation.
yeah. He's up there. I have some that I like better, but not because of design wise, just because of like
Right.
personal preference. But
Utility.
yeah, like to me, he like because Kabuto is like the perfect. Like I love him because he looks like a little Metroid. First of
He
all,
does. He
and
does.
and then second of all, he evolves into the horseshoe crab that took steroids, basically.
Pretty
Like,
much. Yeah.
I think I've convinced myself to kind of push Onyx out. And have
Yeah.
you, or do you still think Onyx is better? I could go 50-50 on this.
No, so for rock type, where I'm torn is I like Kabutops way more than Onyx, but
Mm-hmm.
Onyx is literally a pile of rocks.
He's all right. You
Like
you got me on that one.
literally.
He is
So,
rock.
he is rock.
He's
He
rock.
is rock type.
He is Dwayne DeWalk Johnson.
All these Pokemon are Onyx type.
Onyx type. Yep.
So, I mean,
All right. I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
okay,
We
Onyx.
we can give Kabutops love
Yeah,
at
we'll
some
give him
point.
his own accolade. Yeah,
Yeah. He's fresh.
he is.
All right, Ghost.
All
This is
right.
easy.
Yep. Picking
Uh,
Gengar, moving right along.
yeah. Dragon,
Oh,
easy.
Dragonite.
I love Dragon Air and Dratini, but I mean
Yep,
Dragonite's just
easy pick.
yeah. Oh, Dark type. That's not
Especially,
really a thing.
well,
Oh,
hey,
go ahead,
real
go ahead.
quick before Dark,
Hmm.
another reason why I like Dragonite is because you can use him as a special attacker or a physical attacker in later gens. Like
Oh
his
yeah.
both stats can be cracked based off of the nature and how you like EV train him and stuff.
I don't know if you've like kept up at all with Gen 9, but like Dragonite terrestrialized to normal type, and then so
Oh,
he gets
okay.
the stab bonus on normal type moves, and then you give him extreme speed, and now he's doing
Ooh.
stab extreme speed. It it's
Can he
pretty
learn
cracked.
Giga Impact?
I don't know, but all
That
I
would
know
be
is this.
cracked.
Well, think about it. Extreme speed has it's like plus two or three priority, so it's even faster, and it's 80 base power,
Yeah, I
and
was
you're
about
getting
to say
stab
it's
on a
80.
Dragonite.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's dirty. It's dirty.
Yeah, that is dirty. Wow. Okay. Dark type, considering there wasn't dark types in
Did
Gen 1,
do we give it the Masingno?
I definitely think we should.
Yeah, that's the first one, right? I don't actually remember his sprite model.
It's yeah, I know the first sprite model is missing no, but I don't know that fifth one. I don't know what that is. I don't know if
I,
that's also him.
I don't know either. I'm just gonna put what I know as Masingno, just because it's not real.
Why is the substitute doll
I don't
under dark type?
I don't know.
Okay, well,
It's it's dark because it gives me dark thoughts whenever I see them in game.
me too. Yeah, any doll I look at gives me dark thoughts. So, um, yeah, but we'll pick missing no for sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
doesn't matter. And then,
steel type. Well,
huh? Do I like one or do I like three? That's the
I was
question,
literally
basically.
thinking that I like three more than one.
Yeah, I do too. Three's a luckier number.
Fairy fairy
Alright,
types, although obviously fairy types were not in Gen 1, but
these are
if
all.
we were picking from Gen 1 Pokemon that are
Mm,
now fairy type,
yeah.
um, Clefable, I always did kind of like Clefable just because it would learn Metronome and I had fun with that.
Mm. I was gonna
Um,
say I think Clefable's my favorite. Jigglypuff
yeah,
was annoying from the anime.
yeah, Wigglytuff's just ugly looking.
Yeah, like I don't remember that thing. I forgot it was a Pokemon. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure for
me
a
too.
while.
Yeah, Mr. Mime is just
Nightmare Fuel.
the male nightmare version of Jinx.
Yeah.
So Clefable definitely gets my vote.
I do like Clefairy. I think Clefairy's a
Yeah,
little goofball, but
yeah, a little
Clefable's
goober.
definitely better.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, here is the hard part. We're getting to the hard conversations here.
Favorite starter. So obviously it's Gen 1 starters from all games.
Yeah,
So well, I know mine and it trumps my bias over Blastoise.
yeah, yeah. I think I usually am a water starter guy, but I think I'm with you on this one.
Are you thinking Eevee?
Oh, that was yours.
That's what I was thinking.
My problem with Eevees though is the one game that he is your starter, you can't even evolve him.
Oh, yeah, you have a point. And yeah, also too because if you're picking your starter and you could pick through all of these, I would definitely would rather have like an actual proper typing, like a
Yeah.
Charmander that'll learn Ember like really early on.
Mhm.
So I would probably go with yeah. Thank you for convincing me. Yeah, I would go with Charizard then.
Charizard, yeah, that was. I thought you were. That's what you were alluding to with your bias is gonna go. It's gonna ignore your bias. I figured you were thinking Charizard over Blastoise, but and that's exactly where I was going.
Well, yeah, you definitely talked me out of my terrible pick.
No, I get what you're saying. I think like objectively, if you were to just like if I were to walk into a room and somebody were to say, "Do you want an Eevee, Charmander, uh, Squirtle, Bulbasaur?" I think I like Eevee
Eevee. Yeah, I like Eevee more. Yeah.
than those three. But as far as
Yep.
like final forms go, you
Oh
gotta
yeah,
go with Charizard,
Charizard. Oh yeah.
unfortunately.
Then you have that 1 in 1,000,000 chance of having a black Charizard. Shoot, I'm taking that risk.
Yep. Hmm. Shiny
Sure.
Charizard. Speaking of a black Charizard, out of the gimmick forms, I think
Yep.
immediately my eyes jump to that.
That is
Charizard
very,
X. You
very
can't.
electrifying looking form.
I
Looking
remember
through all these.
I remember seeing the trailer for that and I thought it was sick. Um,
Yeah, I agree.
I'm trying to think. There's Gigantamax, Snorlax being even fatter somehow.
There's a Chonkachu.
The Chonkachu,
That
Mega
Meowth
Mewtwo.
can
Mega Mewtwo is
go.
disgusting.
Yeah,
Just
I don't
because
like either
I don't like
Mewtwo right
either of
here.
them. But have you ever looked at their stats?
Cracked.
Yeah,
Can't,
insane.
can't they get like over 500 special attack?
Well, the X is the physical attacker one, and Y is the special
That's right.
attacker, and they have the highest stats, I think, in both of those.
Isn't it like? I feel like
I
I
think
remember it being like 510 or 518 or something weird like that.
it's something. I know the base stat is like without taking into factor. I think it's in the high 180s for each
Oh
of
my
them.
gosh,
Yeah,
that's insane.
it is. Um, the only other thing I can say out of these is Mega Gengar shiny is awesome. That
He
I
is
think
cool.
Kangaskhan. I love the ability Kangaskhan gets when he Mega Evolves. The where he hits you twice. I think that's so cool.
Oh yeah, that is cool.
And then so like you can like switch in and do hit a fake out, and the fake out hits twice.
Yeah, that's
Or
awesome.
you can do like a goofy like power up punch strategy, so you get double attack boost off of one power up punch.
That's nice. Utility wise, yeah, that's pretty cracked.
Hmm.
But if we're just looking at this, I mean, I want a black Charizard with blue flames coming out of his mouth.
As do I.
Yeah,
Gigantamax Charizard's cool too, but
yeah,
definitely
yeah,
Charizard X.
yeah. Yeah, I
Definitely.
agree.
Oh, I feel
All
so
right.
basic doing this because I'm not even like Charizard's. I don't even know if he makes my actual top 10.
No, he does not make my top 10, but
Mm.
I mean, Gen 1 definitely like
Yeah,
amazing pick.
yeah. Because I mean, a really hot take. I think Gen 1 one of the weaker gens, honestly, as far as designs. I mean, I know
Yeah,
they're OG,
design
but
wise for sure.
yeah, like I love them, but I just feel like,
Yeah, very very nostalgic.
mm,
There are some cool looking Pokemon in Gen 1,
oh,
but
definitely,
yeah, overall you can definitely see like the creative flair that they built upon every gen after this and like,
exactly.
but yeah, there's still a very soft place in my heart for a lot of these guys.
Hmm. To me, it's like Gen 1 when it's hitting it out of the park, it's sending it to the different country. But when it
Absolutely.
and most of its up the bats for like the regular are very like swing and misses to me.
And considering poison type Pokemon are literally 75% of Gen 1,
Yeah.
yeah. Yep. Need I say more?
No, no. Okay, so we've got five legends to pick
Yep.
from.
And I am picking Mew.
Yes. All right. Glad you made that easy for me.
Yep. All right.
Uh,
Favorite.
but real quick before
Yeah, yeah.
I just like you talked about like Mew to me was like when you thought of like an exclusive thing, like the exclusive Pokemon that everybody wanted back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
it it just hit that mark so well, and I think that's
It
why I
did.
just hold it so high, especially with how muddled the legendaries are now.
Yeah, and like because of the movies, like it made you really want a Mew, but then because
You
you
just
couldn't actually get one in the
couldn't.
game,
No, it was just
like
like,
yeah, everyone liked him, everyone wanted him, you know.
hmm,
It's also like I could relate to him as a kid because Mew is like really small, but he's like super powerful, and
hmm.
you know, yeah, I just think Mew's definitely best legendary out of Gen 1.
I agree. I agree. But they're hitting pretty hard for legendaries, except
They
for
do. They
Moltres. Moltres is kind of
yeah yeah he can stay in his little
he
cave.
can he can stay in his little cave. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So this is all
Favorites.
of our favorites, huh?
Okay.
Man,
Look,
that's a good
I'm gonna
list.
say I'm gonna try and omit any Charizard from my pick
I
because
want to
we've
do the
we've
same.
seen him enough.
Yeah.
Um, but let's see here. Aerodactyl, Ivysaur. Let's get them out of here.
Yep.
Like just in the grand scheme of things.
Mm,
Jolteon, I would say get out of here, just because
yep.
there's evolutions that I like more than Jolteon, like
Yes.
a fair amount.
Yeah,
So
there's a couple for me, yeah.
Nidoking, I would get out of the list.
Yeah, right on. I
Um,
would get out in
yep,
Onyx, Scyther, definitely Clefairy I would take out, and Magneton.
I agree. Um,
I
okay, so let's see.
let's
Dra-
make this easier. My
yeah.
three that I'm looking at is either Mew, Dragonite, or Gengar, I think.
So Gengar and Dragonite definitely my top two. So
Yeah,
let's just narrow it down between them two.
them two. Yeah, like when I think of
Um,
Gen 1, like those are one of those are the two that I want, you know what I mean?
yes. I will say Dragonite was probably my favorite Dragon type Pokemon until Garchomp came into the scene.
Okay. I
Personally,
I have a different pseudo dragon that I like. I won't spoil it, but it's I do like Dragonite a lot though. To me,
yeah,
he's
me
like
too.
he hits the mark of like a dragon type that is not like trying to be like menacing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
he just looks like a good guy. Like I don't know how else to say it. Like,
look like you could like play poker with them and just hang out.
yeah, like I feel like me and Dragonite would just we go for a walk through the park, grab some lunch,
Yeah,
just chit chat.
I feel
Or
like we
like
could Dragon dance at the club.
yeah,
Yep,
God. All
yep.
right. I might not want to pick him just because you said that.
Just because I said that, yeah. Yeah, I probably just want to end the video now without even picking because I said that.
I would too, but are we pitching our vote for Gengar or Dragonite?
Well, what's your thing with Gengar here? Why do you like him a lot?
Why do I don't to me he just like I don't know when I think it's the same thing. He's like the poster ghost, you know.
He
He's the
is.
only ghost from Gen 1. I think he's one of the few ghost Pokemon until way later on that think is like just hits the mark. Like
Yeah.
I can't think of anything until almost probably like Gen 4 or 5 where I start to like ghosts again. You know what I mean?
So your reason right there is why I kind of want to pick him over Dragonite
Yeah.
because for Dragon type Pokemon, I feel like the Dragon type, if we put together all the generations, for the most part, there's not many like Dragon type Pokemon designs that I don't like.
Exactly.
And with like you said with ghost types, like they really are kind of few and far between with what I do really like. So
hmm
the fact that we are trying to decide our favorite Pokemon of Gen 1 between a Dragon type and a Ghost type speaks volumes for Gengar.
Yes, definitely. I mean,
So,
and at the end of the day, I think we get the people's vote as long as it's not a Charizard, right? So,
yeah, and I know personally, like, Gengar might even be, like, my contender for favorite Ghost type Pokemon ever. So, for
he's
that, yeah.
yeah, he's up
For
there for me.
that being said, I think it would be undeserving in a sense for Dragonite to get top pick when there are definitely dragon types that I know I like more than him or her.
Yeah,
So
I agree. I agree.
so I think Gengar would be a really good choice for favorite of Gen 1. I think it's very deserving.
hmm
Um and that would complete our list.
That would Gengar wins
So
for Gen 1.
to run it back, normal,
Yep.
we picked Eevee, Fire, Charizard,
hmm
obviously. Water, Blastoise. I feel like my nostalgia with that kind of hit pretty big with that.
Oh,
Um,
definitely. Can't go wrong
I
with the starters in Gen 1. They're
Yeah,
definitely the most solid, I think,
for
pairing.
sure. And then we picked Ivysaur for grass. Trying to
hmm
be a little different, and we also took another game into consideration with
Yeah.
this pick.
Yeah. Hey,
Um,
that's what this is about. It's nothing to do with just personal biases.
yeah, yeah, we're not trying to be objective with our favorites. We're definitely gonna be a little personable, have some
hmm
nostalgia mixed in, and then our own little biases.
Definitely.
Electric, pick Jolteon, really fast, solid evolution, can't go wrong.
Definitely.
Um,
Best.
Lapras, what were you about to say?
I was gonna say best evolution Gen 1, my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Lapras, pretty unanimous ice decision for us.
Easy pick.
Machamp, we had some talks about what we would pick for our favorite in fighting, but I think Machamp definitely takes the cake.
For me, it's like for fighting and Ghost, Gengar is the poster of Ghost, Machamp's the poster of fighting. Like they are
Yep,
like I feel like the most noticeable ones when you think about it.
I agree. Poison type, Nidoking, although we, quickly got him out of our final decision for favorite Pokemon.
Hmm.
For Poison, he's definitely the favorite here.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Rhydon, we were kind of thinking about Onyx, but we knew we wanted to save him for later. So
Hmm.
Rhydon was definitely the easy, first or second pick.
Yeah,
So we went with him. Aerodactyl,
yep.
that was one that I honestly wasn't expecting I would pick.
Hmm.
Looking at the list of flying Pokemon, but it is kind of cool how we both kind of defaulted to to picking him.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of one that you forget about, and then you see him, and you're like, I like him a lot.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Psychic, Alakazam for me, definitely one of my favorite Pokemon ever. So I was happy that you were able to come to the same conclusion in a sense and pick him as our favorite.
Yeah, he's very, I don't know how else to say it other than he's very psychic type. He's,
He is a psychic type Pokemon for sure.
mm,
Scyther, I definitely think for me, I like Pinsir a lot just personally, but I think Scyther for the both of us was a pretty easy decision.
mm. I like Pinsir's rival, which will be coming up in the next one.
Yes. Yep. Um, Onyx, rock type. I know
Yeah,
we
he's
were
rock.
deciding between him and Kabutops. Yeah.
He's
So
rock.
I would. Yeah, he is rock. So sorry, my dog is shaking in the background.
That's all right.
Um, Ghost type, Gengar, easy decision. Really, the only ghost, final evolution ghost type in this list.
Yeah, only
Um,
one that matters.
yeah. Dragonite, same thing as Gengar. Only final evolution in the Dragon types for Gen 1.
Hmm.
Um, Dark type, no Dark types in Gen 1, but missing no definitely takes the spot for what we were given.
For sure.
Um, Steel type, we got Magneton, only Steel type basically in Gen 1, so we kind of
Hmm.
had to pick him.
He's the default
Um,
pick.
yeah, for sure. Clefable, there were some fairy types technically we could have picked from, even though fairy wasn't a thing yet.
Hmm.
But Clefable, 100% unanimous winner here.
Hmm.
Charizard, just always a fan favorite. Ultimately ended up being our favorite for the most part. Um, and so yeah, that was a pretty easy decision once you swayed me off of my vote on Eevee. Thank you for that.
No, no problem. Yeah, I saw the vision. I saw the vision.
Yeah,
I
you saw
just,
you saw what I was going for.
yeah, I saw it.
Yeah,
It
I
just,
just want to pet him.
yeah,
Yeah,
I agree with you. He's probably one of the best, like, have as your own pet Pokemon I can
for
think of.
sure. For the gimmick form, can't go wrong with a Black Charizard. Just one of the coolest things you can see in Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite legendary out of the five that were given in Gen 1, we definitely decided on Mew for so many reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And then our favorite overall, we took a lot of variables into play, but with, with how awesome Gengar looks and how, unique he is and how he's probably top two easy, like, coolest poison type Pokemon, or sorry, not poison, ghost type Pokemons there are. Um, I think this is a fair pick and it gives him some light of day here.
Mm-hmm. I mean, to me, I think of Gengar, and I'm like top three without including any legendaries
Yes.
for Ghost types, 100%. So to me, that's a no-brainer. So
Well, that was definitely fun. I had no idea we would be making this video for this long on one
I
generation.
I know. I thought we were gonna zoom through this, but hey, we've got some long form content for you guys. I hope
Yep.
you liked it.
This is literally going to be hours of content,
Yeah,
but
so I can't complain there
I had a good time, and I know we're probably going to have harder. It's gonna be harder decisions that'll be made for certain types going forward with some
for
of these
sure.
generations. I can already see it without even clicking on any of these boxes. But
Hmm. But
had fun.
as did I. We came up with a pretty solid list. No complaints from me.
No complaints, and
And
we'll try and make another fun video for Gen 2. I'm sure it'll be just as long, if not longer. But until then, we will see y'all next time.
we'll see you in the next one. Please no hate for Mewtwo not winning. Please no hate.
Yep.
We're
Please don't
sorry.
hate
We're
us. Please
we're
don't hate us.
sorry. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Bye.